It's a real pleasure being here in Bucharest, being that this is actually my hometown. So it doesn't happen often that there's a conference happening in Romania, and I'm so happy and grateful for Cătălin and Andrea to invite us here. And I think what they're doing for the past 3 years that I've seen here, it's an improvement and a constant evolution of the Romanian games industry. I'd like to give them a hand of applause for their effort and determination for that. My name is Teddy. I'm the Director of Business Development at the Nordic Game Conference and also one of the hosts for the Discovery Contest, which we'll be staging here today. And it's with a real pleasure to come back here after a year. You probably know that 2 years ago, the Romanian team that won here won the whole competition, Team Yaga, and now they're being published by Versus Evil, who's one of our sponsors. So I think good things happen here, and then let's see if the winner will also take it all in Malmö in May. Basically, what is a discovery contest? Let's have a look. We're having some difficulty with technical stuff here. So I think this is not working.
Because you love games. Your goal is to create truly innovative and interesting experiences. To do that, you constantly have to learn and adapt and make decisions every single day. It's risky and scary, but also exhilarating. The freedom to create, working with like-minded people. The long days, sleepless nights, the leaps of faith. The pride in what you do. There are ups, the moment you first playtest it, the reaction of the first who tries it out. There are also many downs. But when you fail, you learn that your game needs to be discovered for more people to know it exists. So you enter the discovery contest and a new journey begins. Battling on stage, pitching your game, first at home, then abroad, with and against other gifted developers from all over the world, making new business connections, even friendships, learning how to pitch, sell, connect and evolve. Getting your game out there, that's what it's all about. Nordic Game Discovery Contest.
Yay, so welcome to the Discovery Contest. Let's have a look at the rules. Next slide, please, because this doesn't work. And keep pressing, please. So round one, basically, we're going to meet the contestants. They're going to show us the game. And the round two slide, please. It's going to be the game round where the judges here, the 4 judges, will ask questions. In the round 3, there'll be a reality round where the judges will ask questions about more than in-depth of the game, more of the marketing plans, business, and anything else. And the final round, slide please, it's about swaying the judges and yourself, so the audience will be involved as well. You can clap, you can jeer, you can basically respond to what the developers will be showing you on stage. Slide please. So let's meet the judges. We have here 4 judges from different parts of the world, and I'm very excited to hear who they are, so maybe we can start with Tamara. We also need microphones.
Yeah, it works now. Hi everyone, thank you Teddy for having me here. So my name is Tamara, I am a game designer in Mad Hit Games. Our studio comes from Belgrade, Serbia, and that's where we're based, in Belgrade and Novi Sad. And we have started by making a lot of hidden object games, very casual facing, but recently we have made our way into the core market with our game that some of you may have heard about, Pagan Online, which we did in collaboration with Wargaming. It was a really exciting time and we learned a lot, and hopefully we will be able to help you guys with some of that knowledge as well today too.
Hi, I'm Krzysztof and I'm technical evangelist for Unreal Engine for Eastern Europe at Epic Games, and I'm here mostly to help if you need me. That's it.
Hi, I'm Hayden Taylor. I'm a journalist with GamesIndustry.biz. I spend most of my time kind of like writing about loot boxes and harassing developers and things like that.
And I'm Falco. I work for Joypack, a mobile game publisher, but in the past also have represented other publishers, but also developers towards publishers pitching games myself.
Thank you very much. And now, okay, apparently this will work now, they tell me. It still doesn't work, so I will need your help with the slides. So next slide, please. So yes, round one, we're gonna meet the contestants. So contestant number one, basically low poly interactive with the game title Viking Vengeance. Please come on stage. Slide. Seat, and then could you please place the slide so we can see the trailer? Double slide.
Hi guys, I'm Bogdan, the founder of Global Interactive and the game developer Viking Vengeance. If you wonder why I'm on a couch, that's because we are an international team and everybody's working from home. I'll let the others take over.
Hello everyone, my name is Roshan and I'm the co-founder of Local Interactive, 3D modeler, story writer and game designer for Viking Vengeance. And yeah, father of cats.
Hi there, my name is Daryl and I am the animator for Viking Vengeance.
Hey everyone, my name is Edwin and I'm with Local Interactive, writing the music for Viking Vengeance.
How would you describe your studio in one word? International? Thank you. Contestant number two now, Never Games with a game title Grid Punk. Please come on stage. Slide on, yeah, in the video. One
Hey
more.
guys, this is our studio, Never Games, Bucharest. This is my brother. Hey, this is optimizing advertising campaigns for our game. This is my desk. I'm of course a programmer working in Unity. If you don't know, this is how you make game in Unity. Very nice, very nice. And this is the stuff that you use to make games. Milk, of course, for strong bones. Air freshener, and of course our secret ingredient. These are gypsy tears, which give you plus 5% day one retention. Thank you.
Thank you. And the same question to you. How would you describe your studio in one word, based on this video even?
Authentic.
Authentic, I like that. Thank you. So now, slide please for contestant number three. Fearland team with a game called Fearland. Come on stage. Slide and video.
Hey guys, so we're having a playtesting session right now. The guy filming is our BizDev guy, Alex. And let me show you around our crib office. This is the first team. Hi. The first testing team. And we have another room here where there is more guys testing the game.
Hi guys.
And drinking beer.
Get him!
Get him! So that's it.
Thank you very much. Slide, please. So now it's time for round one, which will count as points. So in this round, the contestant will show us the game. So contestant number one, Low Poly Interactive, Viking Vengeance. Slide, please. And another slide. please stand up, and you have 30 seconds to talk about the game, starting now.
Viking Vengeance is an RPG. So Viking Vengeance is an RPG inspired by Norse mythology. It's a hack and slash game, dungeon crawler, in which you can choose a god to pray to worship, to bring offerings to, and even transform into his avatar in battle. You have to build your character around that god and use certain capability.
Time. Yeah. So now contestant number 2, Never Games with Gridpunk. Let's play their video.
Merge, da, muzica. So our game is one versus one PvP game. If you take, for example, a MOBA game in which you have a moment where you walk around the map, a moment where you farm creeps and stay at a distance with the other player, and an actual engagement moment which is like dead, this game is more about, it's all about engagement. So you fight the other player all the time. It's full of tension, it's full of adrenaline, it's something that competitive players love and the other type of players hate. So yeah, I think this is the main thing of our game. Tension, adrenaline.
Thank you very much. And now contestant number 3, Fearland with Fearland. Let's see the video.
Warning, biohazard contingency failed.
What the hell?
Chimera. They're evil and corrupt. We can't fight them, so you're going to hack them. Use their
Request immediate support.
Over.
Friendly fire. Network infiltrated. Hacked. Moving into position.
So impress us.
All right, so Fearland is a real-time indirect stealth tactical game with survival horror elements. It's inspired by horror movies like Cabin in the Woods and also by adventure movies like Indiana Jones. You're the weakest character in the game, you cannot kill anybody directly, so in order to survive, you have to use the environment and turn your enemies against each other. And if you keep calm and you're smart, you might just barely survive.
Thank you very much. So now comes the time of finding the first points of the first round. It still doesn't work, so I'll still need your help. Third time lucky, or not. In this, basically on the end of the round, actually I have my assistant here, Agne, who's working for Nutaku. She's going to help me actually count and do maths because I'm not good with that. So let's give her a round of applause. So let's see, in 3, 2, 1, the winner of round 1 is Gridpunk. Well done. All right, so next slide. Now we're starting with the game round. We will have questions from the judges. And here, basically, the question will be about the game, gameplay, and other things. So you have 30 seconds to answer each of these questions. So another slide, please. Yeah. So Tamara, do you want to start with your first question?
Hi, thank you for your presentation. I saw that you advertised that the game will have really big replayability value. So I'm interested, what really provides replayability in your game aside from character building? Do you have anything else that would make me play the game again, aside from just playing a character with different powers?
There will be different gods. There will be replayability. Each time you start the game again, there are new enemies, different random enemies that appear. You can choose different builds. You can create your whole strategy around that god in a different way. And we want to add a co-op mode as well, in which you can play either on the Viking side or the Templar side.
Okay, thank you.
May I ask you to speak closer to the mic so the audience can hear as well? So just when you speak, just put it
Like
close.
this?
Yeah, yes, thanks. Krish?
That's all, thank you.
No,
Okay.
you're still there. You have to answer each. Yeah, sorry.
Let me double check. Okay, what is the weirdest feature of your game, and why is it weird enough to put it as an answer?
Sorry, what is that?
What is the weirdest feature of your game, and why is it weird enough to satisfy this question?
Okay, you can kick enemies off cliffs. You can kick enemies off cliffs. I think that's pretty weird. Another one.
Okay.
A cat, when it jumps from a tree, there is a chance it can die from its own jump before attacking you.
Okay.
Not sure if that answers.
There's no shortage of games like yours on Steam, sort of, action RPGs, and I'm interested to know what makes yours special.
Okay. The fact that we try to build the entire character around a god in which you can actually transform, customize his skills. So basically you have two characters at the same time. The god's skills can be found, the runes can be equipped, and the god gives you buffs and extra abilities during the battle. His stats are proportional to your hero stats. And yeah, I haven't seen that before, as well as our afterlife system.
So for RPGs, it's a lot about like the balancing and the player progression. How do you balance like the increasing difficulty of the game with like playtest or just in Excel sheets or by your own opinion? Like how do you optimize that?
At the moment we are just testing in-house, but we plan to introduce analytics in the game and see once we start making the demo public, see exactly how the players are playing, where they are getting stuck, what is the part that is too easy. So we need bigger numbers at the moment to test.
Thank you very much. All right. Never Games, you're up next.
Hi. You're actually the only contestant who has chosen to build a game on mobile for this competition, and it is an action game at that. Are you concerned with how you're going to solve the controls problems for which many action games on mobile have, and how much time did you actually separate for this particular issue?
So we tested the control many times. The control is actually, it's not double joystick as many action games. It's a single joystick plus auto aim. And we tested this with many people. If you're above 30, you're going to have a big issue playing the game. If you're, I don't know, from 18, 16 to 25, 28, you have absolutely no problem. Indeed, this is not a game for older people. That's the reality.
Above 30 is older.
Yeah, about 30 is old. I'm sorry, that's the reality.
Okay, thank you.
What is the worst feature of your game and why is it still there?
What's the worst feature?
And why is it still there?
The worst feature in the game, I think it's, I don't know, the worst feature. I think it's the shotgun that we have there, and it's there because I fucking insist to be there, and my brother says fucking remove it. It's not fun, but I fucking insist because I'm the fucking programmer, so yeah.
Online games like yours live and die by their community, so how do you plan to build it up before launch?
Many of these kind of games die. You say that's pretty bleach. This is what I understood. Yeah, I think we're currently soft launching in Mexico, and we have a target audience which we're already working with. The game looks promising. I don't think it's going to die or anything like that.
So mobile games implies free-to-play games, and I know that you're working on a free-to-play title. How do you make money? How's that part of the game designed? Like, what do you think will be the best sellers? And
how the best sellers in this type of games, I think it's buying time. So basically, if you want to progress in this game, you basically need to unlock weapons. Instead of playing, I don't know, 20 matches, you can play 10 matches. You get something like a bonus to get everything faster. However, if you don't play enough and you don't develop your skills, you can get all the weapons, but you don't know how to play with them. It's like League of Legends. You can unlock all the fighters, doesn't help you. You need to know what they're actually doing.
Thank you very much. So now, Fearland, you have the stage.
Hi. So I've seen that actually your game is about 8 hours long right now, and that, if I saw that correctly, and that you plan to sell it for about $20. The general consensus is that 1 hour equals $1, except if you have something that is really unique and really fun about your game. What do you think will make people be willing to go about this price that is actually quite stereotypical for...
Actually, there's an update on that. We had some discussions with some publishers, and we're thinking right now it's a lot better to have a 4 to 6 hour game that will sell for 12 to 15 euros. And in those 4 to 5 hours, we can cram what we want, and also the level of quality will be a lot higher. So we will actually have it come out faster. Sorry? We'll have it come out faster and have, I don't know, 8 levels instead of 10, but they will be the best. 8 levels.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so what thing about your game, about the thing you developed so far, makes you really, really proud of it?
That would be the save system. It's pretty optimized. I mean, I didn't find an asset on the asset store for it. It was quite challenging. It took 1 week to develop and 3 weeks to bug test and bug fix. It works great, and it loads in about, I don't know, 2 to 3 seconds for this level, which for a stealth tactics game is pretty good. I was surprised by how fast it loads.
Cool. Out of all the games you could have made, why did you make this one?
Well, love that question. I was inspired by the final scene in Cabin in the Woods. I don't know if... Okay, I'll explain it. So there's a sort of a corporation there that has a prison with all of the monsters. They have werewolves, vampires, all sorts of monsters, and they also have soldiers guarding those monsters. And then the monsters escape, and they start massacring all of the soldiers. I'm also a big Commandos fan, the first Commandos, Behind Enemy Lines. So I thought, why not mix these two?
Yeah, since you mentioned Commandos, like these games often live off the different skills of the different characters. In the videos, I usually see one character. Do you have multiple ones, and how do they play into each other? Or if you have one character, how do you keep that interesting throughout the game?
We only have one character, but there will constantly be new stuff that character can do. Constant interactions, new interactions with the character. So for example, in the later levels of the game, you will be able to turn any kind of monster against any kind of guard, and you'll be able to hack all of the devices. And a lot of the mechanics are centered around your enemies. So the more powerful your enemies get, the more powerful you get, because you get to manipulate those enemies for yourself.
Thank you. So we reached the end of round 2, and let's see at half the competition who's gonna win in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Fearland. Interesting. And you see those chairs here that the contestants are seating? Basically, they're not the same, because one of them is the winning seat. And the winning seat is always the one close to the judges. So Fearland, please switch us so you can take that special seat. And congratulations for leading. Thank you. All right, so let's go to the next slide, please. And another one. And here we're going to have some sponsor presentations. They are the ones that support us throughout the whole year. One more, please. As you know, Versus Evil, as a judge, found their signing from Romania, Yaga, and they're basically quite successful with them publishing now, and they're supporting us. And here you can see the whole tour, and that's why we're so tired and hungover for most of the year, because we're starting in Brazil, then going to Malta, Portugal, Romania. Next week I'll be in Rome, and so on. So we try to basically get the best of each region, each game to be at Nordic and compete in a sort of Eurovision musical format, minus the music and minus the kitsch, and then basically have the crowned winner at the end in Malmo in the grand finals. Slide, please. And another one. And here you can also see the prizes that the winning teams get. So for the winner here, they will receive a press coverage on the Russian websites, but also Match-Made Influencer Network help, as well as Plan of Attack press release. In the finals, you also receive a booth. You receive training from Versus Evil on day 0 in terms of knowing how to reach the publishers and other sort of questions and other prizes as well. So, slide please. This is the winner from this year in May. It's a team from South Africa. It's Draconoid, the winner in the May Games Africa in Cape Town, and they got the whole thing in Malmo. Slide please. And you can find out more about us at nordicgame.com if you want to receive a newsletter about the latest news about how to enter competitions, go to other events, enter publisher markets, investor days. You can just subscribe to our newsletter that comes out each Thursday. Slide, please. And now we're going back to the competition and round 3, which is reality round, which means that judges can be very creative and ask questions about anything going beyond the game or about the game. It's their choice. So let's start with contestant number 1, not you, but as it was in the program. So basically, it was low poly interactive with Viking Vengeance, please. And please speak in the mic.
Hello. So you mentioned that you plan to release a lot of future updates that you mean to sell for free. So what is the roadmap for this? Provided that your game is a success and you have a lot of free updates to push out, are you planning to do this over a period of time? And do you plan to develop anything else in that period of time, or just focus on the updates?
So we plan to create bi-monthly updates. Most of them will be free. From 3 to 4 months, we will introduce some paid DLC with extra characters, extra gods, extra missions, new environments, new maps, and probably extra modes as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so what is the strangest idea for marketing that you had for the game?
Strangest
surprise me.
We use Reddit.
Okay.
Have you identified your main weaknesses as a team, and what are they?
So most of my team I've met a few years ago. We've founded a 3D community at some point, so we know each other from 2011, and so that's how we met. That's how we started working together on various hobby projects back then. Did I answer your question?
No.
Sorry, but can you repeat?
Have you identified your main weaknesses as a team, and what are they?
Time.
Okay, sorry.
So as far as I know, your team is very international and kind of distributed around the world. How do you keep the project managed? Like, how do you keep track of who has to do what and the timing of everything?
We have a document online, and we do almost daily chats on Skype, video calls. We test the game together. We work on the list of bugs and new features together. So we keep a constant discussion.
Thank you. Never Games, up next.
Okay. So I think you're the only one here who, besides going to mobile, is also emphasizing the really high-skill part of your game and the competitive part of your game. Do you think that this is a threat for you on the mobile market, which is famous for its short sessions and short engagement amounts?
No, I don't think it's a problem. First of all, the game has a short session, so it's between 30 seconds and 1.5 minute a match. Second of all, competitive users are the most valuable users on the market. My mother plays Candy Crush Saga, never paid any money in Candy Crush Saga. If you like this game and you get engaged, you're going to put money into it. So way more valuable users, so it's not a threat.
Okay, thank you.
So what funny thing, or maybe not funny, had the most influence on your team and the development process, like during the whole?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, what thing had the most influence, like whatever it is, had the most influence on the development process of the team?
What was my brother had the biggest influence? This is the question, or I don't understand?
He's the team member, right? But anything that happened, anything that inspired you in any way?
The fact that me and my brother were always playing together when we were kids. So this is the main thing this is the main dynamic. This is how we work. We play together and this is what creates everything here. This is the main influence.
The mobile market is really crowded and it's very, very difficult to stand out. So how do you intend to actually make your game known?
So we do this first of all through the cool graphics, because we have cool graphics. This is going to lower user acquisition prices, and we're going to make sure that we're going to have a cost per install which is going to be balanced with the lifetime value of the users. This is work. We're going to work on our KPIs and move forward on that. This is the business. I don't know. I've done this for 12 years, been in Gameloft. I hope I will be able to manage this. I'm optimistic about it.
So you mentioned a couple of times that you founded the studio with your brother. What if like a question comes up, like some disagreements on the business side, like two offers from a publisher, like who makes the final decision? How do you figure that out?
So we don't have many disagreements. We have a very good relationship. However, we do have our dark moments. So I get very fixed on one direction and he gets fixed on another direction. What is important for us is to understand that each of us can go into a dark hole and help each other get out of that part. It's not how we always are, it's just a moment. I don't know, this is how we solve things.
Thank you. Fearland, you have the stage.
So what would you say that the plan for the continued growth of your team is? Do you, provided this game succeeds, do you plan on making more similar games, or do you plan to branch out in other genres as well? Just what is your dream end game here?
Our dream end is to make our second game right now. And I have a very interesting idea that I've been thinking about for about more than a year. It's also somewhat stealth and somewhat indirect, but it's in a corporate environment, and its theme would be the lengths to which people would go to get ahead in big companies.
Interesting, thank you.
What is unique about your team and like what this uniqueness brought to the development of the game?
I don't know many teams. I mean, I know some teams, but from what I know, what's unique is that I started building the game by myself. I did a lot of it. There have been some dark moments about a year from now when I got into a place where I couldn't really work on it anymore. I got stressed, and then I got some people to help me. And fortunately, their personalities complement mine very well. I'm very intense, and they're more relaxed. And, you know, things are going a lot better since then.
Time.
What is your biggest obstacle to success, and how do you plan to overcome it?
I think the difficult of getting my game discovered, because when people start to play the game, they enjoy it. We've had playtesting sessions, people like the game. Getting it discovered on Steam, on the platforms we will publish it on, and we will tackle that by doing marketing, by finding a publisher, but discoverability is, in a word, the answer.
So let's say things are going well, and it's a genre that's a bit tricky on consoles. Do you keep consoles at all in mind? Do you prepare for it, or is that something you put off to when the game's finished?
We are preparing for consoles. The next feature that I'm going to work on is getting the control to work on consoles with an Xbox controller and also for Switch. We have plans of launching it on Switch. Most likely we'll have the launch on Steam and Switch at the same time. And it's also planned for consoles. For PS4 and Xbox, control is pretty good because we have only one character. It's easier to control. And it's in Unity, so porting is easy.
Thank you very much. So now we have the suspense, end of round 3 with 1 round to go, and each round the points are doubled. So let's see who's going to win this round in 3, 2, 1, and it's a tie. Congratulations both. You keep your seat. Let's go a few slides further. I didn't want to create more confusion there, that round. And final round, which is basically where the audience is involved as well as the judges. The contestants will they can do anything within the law, because we're in the Romanian Parliament building, right? To actually try to persuade the judges to win the whole thing. So contestant number 1, please come on stage. And slide. Slide.
Bishop can revive the dead bodies.
Sorry?
The priest can revive the dead bodies. Okay, so that's a feature we...
Cool. So let's play the video, please. Slide. And another slide. So you have 30 seconds.
So as you can see, the game is fun. This is hard proof, especially for you. You're more bleach, dark side. So it's we've worked on this game for like 3 years, 2.5 years. We've improved it. Actually, this is the 3rd time we've applied for Nordic. Twice you've rejected us because the game was not high quality enough. And this, for me, it's enough of a confirmation and a fact that the game is good. And I think it has high chances of paying the bills. So this is what I have to say. Thank you.
And final try. Video, please.
Target in range. System bypassed. Movement.
All right. 30 seconds.
All right, so what you can see here, even with the bad resolution, is that the game is pretty intense. Even though it's a real-time stealth tactics game, when you get discovered or in certain situations when guards are looking for you or when there's a boss fight, because it will also have boss fights, things are getting pretty intense. And sometimes the only thing you can do is unleash the monsters on the guards. And here's where the horror inspiration comes in that the game is very violent, very loud, and it's constantly surprising.
Thank you. Let's have a slide, please. And yes, now it's time for points. And this round will actually decide the winner. And let's give a round of applause to contestant number 1 first. I want to see the crowd being involved a bit. Cool, Viking Vengeance. And now Never Games, please. And Fairland. So dear judges, in 3, 2, 1, you can unveil the winner. And it's a tie, so I have to make some calculations. Wait a second. We don't know yet who's going to win. Slide, please. All right, so we have a winner. And the winner is, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, Fairland.
Well, first of all, thank you to the organizers. You've done, I know it sounds arrogant to say you've done a great job, but thank you because it's the 3rd time I'm coming here, and I think only this year I've actually used this conference for what it actually is, a networking event. And thank you to the judges for not being too tough and for asking very interesting questions. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It sounds like an Oscar speech. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to Nordic Game for putting us here.
It's a pleasure. We'll see you in Malmö in May.
Okay, and thank you to the audience, and thanks to my team.
Cheers, congratulations. So that's it. You guys can go home. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the contest, and have an awesome conference. See you next time.